Welcome to Game Recognized Game. I'm Myles Turner, joined from Portland by my co-host Breanna Stewart. Portland, Stewart. I feel like that's you ever been? New spot? Or I know it's new to the league.
Definitely have been here before, but first time coming here with the WNBA, so really excited. We're actually here for like the whole week, which is nice. We traveled from DC last night, so that's like a long flight, DC to Portland. But happy to be here, excited to kind of see the environment, the fans, and like compare to what we have at Barclays for sure.
Portland's cool, man. It reminds me of where I went to school in Austin. Similar vibes. They got a little keep Portland weird, keep Austin weird, kind of thing going on there. Love the hippie vibes. But speaking of DC, man, Sunday's game, 2 hours and 41 minutes versus the Mystics. I mean, got to be the longest game of your career, right?
It's definitely the longest game of my career. I mean, we won. So, like, listen, a win is a win, and we will take that. Won in overtime. But, yeah, like a hot topic right now is the officiating, because some of the points of emphasis, they want to lessen the physicality. But right now it's like we're just calling everything. We had 58 foul calls in the last game. And JJ and Han, both of our centers fouled out, which is just incredible for me,
Heard. I don't know, man. I just feel like you're so right about like, at the beginning of the year, they're going to overemphasize everything. You know what I mean? And it's one of the biggest topics in basketball right now. I mean, you obviously had your game here. And on the NBA side, you got, the Lakers complaining, about everything that's going on in their series, not getting enough calls versus the Thunder. Then guys like Shea, getting all the calls in the world. I mean, it's just a matter of how you manipulate the game, sometimes, as opposed to the actual rules itself. And I'm curious to kind of just like dive into it. So how do they balance the game? You know what I'm saying? Because obviously, there's some physicality out there, but sometimes there's too much physicality. So from our perspective, where does the balance come into play?
First of all, I think I would like to say, like, this is not an easy job, because I'm not on here to get fined by the refs or anybody else, or fined by the league. But it's not an easy job, especially when you like go year after year. And I don't know if you guys do the same as us, but like every year we have a meeting with the officials, and like these are going to be the points of emphasis, and these are the things that they're going to call more, and they're gonna call it more when you're trying to bump the cutter because you're really displacing them and things like that. But I think that maybe the refs have that in the back of their mind, and that's really slowing down our game a little bit, like making it choppy. I don't know what the free throw count was yesterday, but it had to be pretty high between both sides. But for me, and like, I don't know what you think about this, it's like, of course, it can't be super physical. But also, if there's not a clear advantage about like a ticky-tack foul, like don't call it. That's how I feel.
Man, shit, the refs are like the police at the end of the day. They got a quota, right? I feel like there's a certain number of like foul calls they have to call, throughout a game, because they might start the game calling hella fouls. Then you don't get shit until like the fourth quarter, or like vice versa. But it's funny because they'll start calling some of these, say you've been getting fouled all game and whatnot, and all of a sudden they kind of start giving you calls towards the end of the game. It's like, man, we don't want this shit now. You know what I mean? But they feel like they had to even up the foul count and all that type of stuff. So I agree with you. To your point, it is not an easy job to have such a quick eye and go off reaction time. But I do think that their accountability does have to be taken, on that side of things, because the players, we get criticized so much. We obviously, we make the money, we're the eyes and whatnot. But there has to be a level of criticism that comes to the refs as well. And I think what happens is the league steps in and says, oh, we're going to take care of it, or, oh, we got them, don't worry about it. Whereas like, no, us as players, it's like, what are you really doing to protect the purity of the game? You know what I mean? I don't know.
And I mean, like for you, it's like, well, what do you think the difference between physical basketball and like unfair basketball? Like as opposed to, you want to be physical, right? You don't want to give position, but then it's like, now you have to be careful. For me anyways, we have to be careful in like how much we're like really kind of fighting for that spot.
Well, I'm gonna be a little political here. The game has changed, from 10 years ago when I got in the league, right? In the NBA, you got guys that were cutting through the lane to your paint, guys that were scared to cut through the paint because, guys were going to chuck you, or guys were going to hit you, or we're taught, as bigs to tag the roller. Someone's coming by, tag them and let go. You can't do that anymore. And what I've learned is, nobody wants to watch defense, right? Unfortunately, it's just what it is. People who don't know basketball, if you're just a casual fan watching, you want to see the dunks, you want to see the fast breaks, you want to see the highlights. Like, that's why they had to add certain rules like the take foul and all that type of stuff. So they've made the game, I guess, less physical for freedom of movement purposes, right?
Yeah.
But it's also kind of hurting the product of the game because, there's so much stoppage of play. And the whole point that I think the whole thing that separates basketball from all these sports is the fact that it's so free flowing and so up and down. And it's just unfortunate, I think, that at the highest level in some of the biggest stages, like in the playoffs, like we're having games that last 2.5 hours. And, it's tough because you do have guys that have kind of mastered the manipulation of the game, like the James Hardens of the world, the Shays and, Lukas and stuff like that. But then you also have guys who play the game very pure. I look at someone like Giannis. What they told him, and who knows if I'm supposed to be saying this or not, is, he doesn't flop. Giannis is one of the very few players in this league that doesn't like flail his body and flop and move around. So he actually doesn't get foul calls. The fact that he tries to run through people and the fact that guys are hitting him and he's not flopping, they won't call him any fouls, even though he's getting fouled. So it's like, do we even know what a real foul is anymore? I don't know.
I also don't know. I don't know. It's like it's something you could talk about on and on and on. But it's like for us, it's like, okay, eventually, right? It has to even out. Eventually, it has to like shake into something. But also, do we need to change like the way that we're doing things? You know what I mean? Like, because that's almost what it feels like sometimes. It's like, listen, I'm getting a call for offensive fouls more in this past 2 games than I have like probably the last 10 games of the last season. And it's like, I'm just trying to set a screen. Or like JJ, for example, yesterday, she caught the ball and she just opened up. And Citron just ran right into her, and that was her 6th foul.
That's tough. Like, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
She didn't stick her butt out. She didn't stick her hip out. Nothing.
Just hit.
We challenged it and we lost.
It's like they try to combat some stuff, right? They'll throw the challenges in there. And like, I guess it's a good point. Like, how hard is it to not let like a missed call or even a missed call affect like the next play? Because it's like, I know you're still thinking about it. You know what I mean?
I think it's hard. I think that it's really hard. But like what I try to do is just like get the team to like not worry about it. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Next play. Like, don't even think about it. We can't control it. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. But we're not going to let it dictate how we're going to play on the defensive end or the offensive end. You know what I mean? Because you have to like bring your group together. Because like when it's like this foul and that foul and this is touchy and that's not, it can get a little bit like emotional, and you can some of the players can start to spiral a little bit.
Yeah, and I know that's right too, man. It's just you're always taught, your coach is going to keep telling you that, oh, next play mentality, or just move on, don't worry about them. But I don't know, man. These refs are human, bro, and they have human emotions as well. So if you go out there and cuss a ref out or front him out in front of people, they're going to remember that shit. And there's a perfect example of this. Like, I think Fred VanVleet, this is like 2-3 years ago, right? He said he went off in his post-game presser about one of the refs, went crazy. He didn't get calls for 3 months straight, boy. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I told you, the refs like the police. Like, you fucking one of them, you fucking with all of them. And it's like they band together, and it's like, nah, he not getting no calls, And I've seen it actually happen, bro. It's crazy. And one thing you'll see, too, is like the rookie refs or the younger refs, the veteran refs really look out for them. So if you go after like a rookie ref or cuss them out, or the female refs as well, like on our side, if you go after the female refs, the veteran refs will come in and step in and, will basically fuck you out the game. I mean, it's happened plenty of times before, but I don't know, man. It gets interesting too, because I mean, there's human error that's involved with everything. We don't make every layup. We don't make every free throw. And so they're going to blow calls. But at the same time, it's like, you're at the highest level of this shit, man. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's like, it's a slippery slope. I definitely don't want to get down this rabbit hole because I'm in season right now. And like,
You're right.
I know that the refs have a hard job. Like, I am acknowledging that fully. I just want there to be some consistency as far as like what we're doing. And I think let's check back in after like 2 weeks into the season and see like how things kind of play out a little bit more.
That's probably a good shot right there. So we'll fast forward it a little bit, right? So you're not there yet. Let's head into officiating during the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
Because I personally think it changes quite a bit from the regular season. Like, what has your experience been like, with the refs going into the playoffs? I think it's a little bit of a different game.
For us, I think it gets more physical in the playoffs. I'm not sure about for you guys, but it seems like they let us play more, which you want, right? It's high emotions. Series is going back and forth, whether you're on the road or at home, and really just fighting for position every single time up and down the court. But do you have the same sentiments, or what do you think about that?
Yeah. I think as it gets deeper in the rounds, and whatnot, they let a lot more go. And what I've noticed too, obviously, is I don't have as much experience though, like being in the finals as you do. But like my experience last year was interesting because we're the only show on TV, right? So now it's more eyes. Not just more eyes on us, it's more eyes on referees, more eyes on the league itself and how they handle things or how they handle fouls and flagrants and whatnot. So it definitely does change, but I also think that they have to kind of uphold their own rules too, if that makes sense, right? If the emphasis that they're talking about now at the beginning of y'all's year, like for instance, like just say, say an emphasis is traveling, right?
Yeah.
At the beginning of the year, they said, hey, we're putting an emphasis on traveling, and they let a bunch of shit go. And then during the playoffs, they're gonna have to start calling that shit again because they gotta be men of their word or stand on what they said. So I do think that it does change, but there's also it can change for the worse too, because at times that they're gonna have to continue to keep calling everything they said they were gonna call it that. But it's definitely a lot more physical of a game. I think they let a lot more stuff go. It's a lot chippier. Did you see Wemby and Naz Reid yesterday?
Yes. I mean, people were saying that he should have gotten like something like a suspension or something. Do you think so? Like I
absolutely agree with that. If that's any other player, that is a suspension. If Draymond Green did that, that's a suspension. Bro, it's one thing to inadvertently elbow someone.
I know. He saw him.
He looked
like,
at him and cocked that shit back and fucked him up. That was crazy, bro. And there's one part of it, right? Some people are proud of Wemby because they haven't seen that side of him, right? So they're gassing up and cheering him up. And I get it, the playoffs is physical. But what if Naz Reid had retaliated, right? Or what if next game Naz Reid retaliates? Then that's the league's fault. Because it's like, well, they didn't up this to a suspension. So you're basically telling me, oh, that's fair game? All right, bet. I'm going to get my lick back. And I'm curious to see how the next game goes. But let's just be 100%, keep a spade a spade. If you suspend Wemby, those ticket sales are dropping, bro. Them Spurs fans going to be pissed. People aren't going to them games. It's just not the same product when he's not out there on the floor because he's one of the faces of our league. You suspended one of the faces of our league, there's people riot. Shit. So.
Yeah, I mean, also just the fact that, first of all, the Spurs almost won last night. I think it's got to be hard to have a player ejected like that. I don't know. Have you been in a playoff or a high stress situation like that when a player has been ejected and then the team has to rally like that?
Sometimes it's a good thing because, you could be low on energy or it could be a lackluster game. But then something like that, it gets your adrenaline going, it gets the juices going. Or if you're at home, the crowd gets into it a bit more, boos the other team. So sometimes it helps. But, most of the time it hurts because usually it's one of your better players that's in that position as well. So I've definitely been in that position before. And it's a slippery slope. Yeah.
Well, let's see what happens in Game 5. I think it'll be interesting because, like you said, nothing happened to Wemby after his flagrant 2. But if another player does that, they better get the same treatment. You know what I mean? Obviously an ejection, but no further consequences. But yeah, this is playoff basketball, I guess.
It's different, dog. It's different. If you could change one rule, tomorrow, what would it be on y'all side?
If I could change one rule,
I'll tell you mine while you think.
Tell me yours first.
I love the FIBA rules where you can goaltend.
We can hit it off the rim?
Hit it off the rim or, get it off. That's one thing I changed right away. I think that adds a whole other different elements in the game. And I think that's kind of sick on our side. So I feel like that's something that'd be cool for us. I don't know.
I don't know what rule I would change. I think the offensive player right now is the post player is getting called for a lot of screens, moving screens, or just even when you have it with the DHO and the guard tries to blow it up, they try to run through it. If you pass it and stand your ground, you're getting called for an offensive foul. So I don't know. That's a little bit frustrating. I think the biggest thing for us is you guys have a ton of camera angles, right? You got cameras on the sideline, cameras over here, this, that, and the other. So when you challenge, the refs have so many different looks. With us, it's like when we challenge, we don't have all those camera angles still. So like that's what I would change is like we need more viewpoints because sometimes there's like an easy miss and they're not able to see it because they don't have the right angle.
Okay. Yeah, that was a very insightful answer. There you go. Nice. I hear you.
You know what I mean? You guys have the one that's like up the sideline or the one right near where the TV hosts are at.
Yeah, we have like over like 400 cameras or something like that in our arenas and whatnot. And I'm not sure they're all replay cameras, but like it's crazy. Do you guys have like the technology too? Like the cameras like up in the sky where like tracks player movement and speed and all that type of stuff?
I don't know. That I don't know. Is it new?
It was newer like maybe like 2-3 years ago. They added these cameras that literally track like everything. It's like, you know when you put those dots on? Like, you know, for like testing stuff. It's basically that, but in the camera. It's like some AI thing where it tracks like miles per hour, miles ran, like load on your body, you know, jump height, jump speed, all that type of stuff. Like
this is called something. What is it called?
Is it Connexon? Does that sound right?
We use Connect. We have Connexon. But there was something else when we were talking about CBA. They were talking about like adding this other thing in that you guys use. So maybe it's that.
Yeah, I think it's pretty sick. Shit. Yeah.
I think it'll come as we're into better arenas, but like some of these arenas that we're in, they don't have the capability or the capacity for those cameras.
That makes sense. Yeah, I guess you got more of the NBA arenas and whatnot. Like I'm sure Brooklyn has them for sure. Like
yeah. All right. Well, time for a quick break. Next up, we go rapid fire. Please rate, review, and subscribe to Game Recognized Game with Stewie and Myles wherever you get your podcasts. Welcome back to Game Recognized Game with Stewie and Myles, and now we're going to do a little bit of rapid fire. So Myles is up first. First question, one vet who gave you real advice.
I'll probably go Big Al Jefferson. He's one of the best vets I had. You know, if you guys aren't familiar with who Al Jefferson is, all the young boys watching, definitely look up his tape. One of the best post players to ever do it, in my opinion. Get to that right hand. A lot of different like advice that he gave me, man. He's country from Mississippi, so he got all the like country little sayings at one time. So I'll start with a stupid one. He basically was like, a trash can get a steak every now and then. I was like, what the hell does that mean, Gal? And he was like, yo, listen, it doesn't matter how good you are, how bad you are in this league or whatnot. It could be anybody's night. You know what I mean? It could be anybody's night. And it's like, you know, you can look in the scouting report and this guy averages 2 points a game. Like, who the fuck is this? He's in the NBA for a reason, you know? She's gonna be in the WNBA for a reason. So yeah, so it's being a trash can get a steak every now and then. So you just never know who you're lining up against.
I like that.
Yeah.
Trash can gets a steak every now and then. Cool.
All right. Yeah. What do you prefer? Do you fart oh shit. What do you prefer? Guard switches or stay in the drop?
I prefer honestly, I think what I would prefer is probably not what happens. Like I'd prefer the big stay and drop, right? Because then I could just screen and pop and like close out, whatever, attack downhill.
I feel you.
But what happens is I have a lot of guard switches.
Yep.
And then I just like try to like roll them down and post up from there. It's just like a little bit harder because you don't know where the double is coming from all the time, if that makes sense. Oh, especially when you're in the middle.
Bro, yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm just like you. I'd much rather just pick and pop, shoot threes all day. But you're right, you know, they'll switch. But what happens with me personally is like, if I roll the switch, they'll do a pass off. So I'm rolling with the guard and then a forward from like the other corner come in, bump it out. And it's like, man, shit. So yeah, no, I feel you on that.
All that is lost. Everything is lost. Who's the funniest teammate you've had?
I've had over 100 teammates. Let me think. Off the top of my head, I'm gonna go Buddy Hield. I love Buddy, man. I think he is an amazing teammate. I think that he's got an amazing spirit, and he's just naturally like a funny dude. Shout out to Buddy Love, man. That's my guy. I
saw him. He was getting a haircut in the street of New York when they were playing the Knicks.
That sounds like Buddy, bro. He's a man of the people. Man of the people, to say the least.
Love it.
All right, who's the best trash talker? You think you personally up against? I think I know your answer, but I'm curious.
Best trash talker. I mean Diana, for sure. She's retired. Like
Yep,
that's
that's
the
what I thought
top.
you were gonna say. Yeah.
Currently, who talks trash? I don't know. Honestly, some younger players are talking trash these days, and I'm kind of just like, what? Like, what?
Sometimes it gets cringe, right? It's like,
Yeah,
all
I'm
right.
just like, wait, hold on. You got to make it first, but okay, cool.
Oh, shit. All right.
Teammate who's most likely to be late. Whoa, hold up. About that, Chris DeMarco is our coach now, and he was with the Warriors. We get fined for all types of stuff now. You guys get fined a lot?
Well, okay. It depends on the coach. So Doc Rivers, he didn't find anybody ever. So guys were late all the time. Guys were, showing up to film whenever they wanted to show up. Guys were missing meetings. Like, it was one of the craziest things I personally ever experienced. But any other team I've been on, guys got fined. And there was a sense of order and a sense of understanding. So yeah, you're late to the plane, fine. You're late to treatment, fine. You're late to film, fine. But I personally did not experience that last year for the first time in my career. So we'll see what Taylor Jenkins does, our new coach.
So who's the teammate that's most likely to be late? Well, all of yours, obviously, because nobody gets fined.
Yeah, bro. We literally, if the plane took off at 2:00, we weren't leaving until 4:30. I'm being so serious, bro. It was crazy, dog. Guys were an hour late to the plane. It got to the point where I knew not to show up until like an hour after they said the plane was taking off. It was crazy. But anyways, that's easy. Giannis is gonna show up whenever he wants. Really, I think that it's kind of just came with the territory at that. And once I kind of saw what was going down, I was like, hey man, shit, more power to you. They ain't gonna find you. Shit, do what you do.
Right.
Except when we were going to Dallas. That's when I was like, all right, come on.
Right now, we're getting fined for missed free throw box outs.
That's a good one. Honestly, that's a good one. I'm not mad at that. I'm actually not mad at that at all.
We're a little bit mad about it. We're because it's like, all right, well, what if the ball goes out of bounds? There's no possession. What if there's always caveats to it? Yeah, bad bounce.
That's real. Yeah, okay. I can see why. I don't know, man. Shit, maybe if I'm a coach, shit, I don't know.
That's what I'm thinking. Every time I'm at the free throw line now, I'm like, I don't want to pay this extra money. It's literally $25, but I'm still like, I don't want to pay it.
It's the idea. It's the principle. No, I'm with you. Exactly. I'm with you. That's bullshit. All right. Who's one player that you study the most or studied?
One player I studied the most, I think KD, for sure. Just like the way he gets his shot off. When I was adding like my Euro slow step, I was looking at Tatum.
Okay.
The way that he does it. Donovan Mitchell.
That's a good one, yeah.
Yeah, and then on the women's side, like Candace, Lauren Jackson, like those type of players, Deladon, just the impact that they have all over the court.
Deladon, that's a good one right there. She was fun to watch. Yeah.
What's one word to describe your game? Only one word. One.
Whew. I don't know, man. Damn. I'm actually kind of blanking on this one. Let me think.
Bucket. Beast.
I'll say balanced. I'll say balanced. Is the best way to describe my game. Balance. Zen. I'm not mad at that one. I'm not mad at that one either. Zen. Very zenful. Zen-like. Yeah.
I like
balance, Zen. Yeah, I'm good with that.
This next question is just like a setup for me.
Well, let's just go ahead and ask it. You preface it. Who is one player you want to beat the most?
I think like you said it, but it's like Asia and I, we just like go head to head. So tons of respect, but obviously when we're playing each other, we both want to beat each other.
Of course. Yeah, y'all the top dogs, honestly, at that, especially
Like,
on positions too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so now Peter's gonna show us something.
All right.
You obviously didn't see it, but it was our home opener, and Benaiza Laney Hamilton crossed a rookie on the Connecticut Sun on opening night, and you just got to see it. And then we got like photo reactions behind it. So just
let me see it. I need to see
check in.
full screen. Hold on. Hey, listen, that's an ethical ankle breaker too. I appreciate those. That is an ethical ankle breaker. No stepping on those shoes, no nothing.
No push off, no nothing.
No push off. That was ethical.
I don't know. I was like in the corner just bouncing. You see this little picture of me? That was me. Like, like when the move was happening, I was like just like this bouncing. I was like, please make it, please make it, please make it. I saw people like putting it at their screensaver. They're like hanging in the Louvre, like all types of stuff. It's time for one more break. Next up, we go inside the game and why you might not want to get excited about your first round draft pick. Welcome back to Game Recognized Game with Stewie and Myles, and it's time to go inside the game.
Yes, let's go inside the game. We're going to talk about the draft lottery. As you know, a bunch of craziness happened, this year in the lottery. As y'all know, there's a bunch of, if you didn't know, there's a bunch of ping pong bouncy balls that basically go inside of this big contraption. And teams that have the worst record have a better chance of getting, the first round pick. So fans get excited about the spots and kind of want to get real about the draft. It's unreal that in the NBA, only 25% of lottery picks, are making an all-star team. About half of all first-round picks are out the league after about 3 years. So there's a lot of jobs on the line, in the front offices and whatnot. They got a lot of pressure, to make these picks. There's a lot of guys, a lot of teams that tank, in hopes of getting a better pick, and it doesn't always work out for them. So let's get into it.
I mean, for you, what separates the talented from the players? Sorry. So what separates the talented from the players who have long? I got you. That question is not right.
So
right.
So no, it's like say like talented players compared to who have the long careers. I know what you're trying to say, but it could be
I got you. I got it. Ready? No worries.
God damn it, Peter.
Yeah. For you, Myles, what separates the players with the most talented versus the players who have long NBA careers?
Yeah, I think that you said it right there. These guys who are draft evaluators, they're going off potential and talent. But sometimes that potential will take you a lot further than what your talent really is. That makes sense. So they might draft a kid like myself. I didn't have the best college career. I was flagged for injuries. I was long and skinny and lanky, but they weren't necessarily drafting me off of just my pure talent. It was the potential of what I could turn into. And most of the time, big men are going to get the benefit of the doubt, because they can turn them into a project, right? You can put weight on them. You can teach them how to play. But guards, those guys have to come in and be able to make an impact right away. So I think what separates these guys is, the guys who have longer careers are, one, the ones that take care of their bodies. I think that's the biggest thing. When you go through the draft process, as you know, there's interviews, right? So some people, will go in there, be the most talented kid in the draft, but completely bomb their interviews or just be unprofessional, and they can slip a whole bunch of spots just for that. That happened to Anthony Edwards. He was supposed to be the number one pick, but he didn't have a good draft interview with the Golden State Warriors. So I think he ended up going number 2 or 3, and they ended up picking James Wiseman instead, or it was number 2 pick or 3 pick, whatever it was. But I think what separates them is the professionalism and the way they carry themselves. Because one thing I know about our front offices now is that they're trying to draft good kids. You know what I mean? They want to bring good people to the organizations, represent the communities, represent, the team, represent the global brand of what the team is, as opposed to just guys that are just talented. So longevity matters, but the potential is something that guys draft off of now.
Well, and sometimes like they're not going to make impacts right away. You know, sometimes you can be a lottery pick and you're not a starter. And, you know, I'm sure they want to know how well that they're going to play their role, or like, you know, trust the process, that the patience is going to come and they're going to have a moment where it's their time, but it might not be in that first year that they're in the NBA, right?
Mm-hmm. Very much so. Very much so. I think you gotta. Um, there's this thing that's called draft and stash, and sometimes it happens with a lot of these overseas players to that point. Like they'll draft them and end up not playing at all, and still stay with
Mhm.
their overseas club, and then potentially come over in 2 or 3 years, or send them to the G League. You got guys that they'll draft and haven't developed, over 2 3 years, and have the potential to be something, but they're not getting the playing time that they want. So they let them develop, let them gain some weight, let them learn the game, study, and become two-way players. So yeah, I think that it gets very interesting. But most of the time when you're in the draft lottery, like you want an impact now player. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you just spent that all last season losing, tanking, whatever it may be. So it's like one of the guys to come in and help us get over the edge right away. So it's different.
Who's the most talented player that you ever saw that didn't have a successful NBA career?
Most talented. Okay, I got a good
I'm
one.
like Greg Oden.
Emmanuel Moody. Greg Oden. Emmanuel Mudiay was in my draft class. And it hits a little close to home because he was actually my high school class and he's from Dallas as well. We actually ran the same AU circuit. I think that when we were younger, he was the most talented kid in the state of Texas. You know what I mean? He had crazy like vision. He was bigger than everybody, around 6'4", 6'5", had like a college body and was just dominating the game. And then he decided to forego college and actually ended up playing, I think, in China and then coming back and playing in the NBA. He got drafted to Denver Nuggets. And I think people complained about like his work ethic or like people started complaining about that he just basically didn't listen to anybody. He wanted to do things like his own way. And unfortunately in this league, there's a lot of ego that gets involved with the coaching staffs, with the front office, with people around you. So you could be the most talented player in the room, but if you're not going to do what I say, or you're not going to do, as I told you to, you rookie, they're going to stick it to you. And I
Right.
think that kind of started to happen to him a bit. He bounced around like different teams for a second and like he wasn't in the league after like 4 or 5 years, but it was never because of his talent. It was because of the intangibles and the things that happened around him. And like that's a more like, I guess, real world like thing that I saw with my own two eyes because I followed everybody in my draft class's career very closely, especially guys like, E-Man that was from Dallas. But
Mhm.
that was a tough one to watch because he still has a talent to this day to play in the NBA. But I don't know if the mindset and demeanor matches up with, what the NBA is looking for. And, he'll tell you himself, he got humbled. He's gone on record on podcasts like talking about it and talking about his experience. And it's a good learning lesson, for guys that are coming up.
Yeah, I mean that kind of leads me to my next point of like, there's like this invisible work or this thing where it's like the lottery picks. It's not only talent, like you said. They want good guys. They want people that are going to impact the community. And it's like, I guess what's your message to this next draft class, these next lottery picks about like what they can do for the team that drafts them? Like, how can they make an impact without even being on the court?
Man, this is a great question. I got a bunch. I'll start off with nobody gives a fuck about what you did in college. I'm gonna tell you right now, like half of us NBA guys, we don't watch college basketball. We'll watch maybe the last March Madness, Sweet 16 on and stuff like that. But you can average 20 and like, I have no idea who you are until I see you on this draft or this scout report, right?
Yeah.
So leave your ego at the door. I don't care if you're the number one pick. I don't care if you're the 60th pick. Like once you come in, it's like you have a fresh slate. Everything is like renewed in a sense. So you have to immerse yourself in the work. They talk about the whole cliche, be the first one to show up, last one to leave. That speaks volumes. It goes a very long way. Like you won't only just earn the respect of the front office, but you earn the respect of the players, the veterans. Like if I'm one of the last ones to leave the gym every single day, and when I see the younger guys that are still there working and whatnot, I know that I'm gonna be able to trust them a little bit more in the game because the stuff you're doing in the game, I've seen you work on. The stuff you're doing around, I've seen you actually put the work in to do. So the shadow work, to your point, is very important. I think it's also very important to ask questions. I see so many rookies that like are shelling themselves sometimes or are too afraid to look dumb or be seen in a certain light, but it doesn't matter, bro. You're here to learn and you're here to learn quickly. We can't wait till game 30 for you to understand, some of our coverages and whatnot. It's like if you don't speak up in practice, like, you're never going to get it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's also very important to earn the respect of the community as well. Most of the time, as a lottery pick, your community is very excited to have you. So get out the apartment. Just go for a walk, around town, go visit local grocery stores or local shops and all that type of stuff and start to get to know the people in your community. Start to get to know who the season ticket holders are. Start to get to know, who are the ones that are supporting you. I think that it's important to make connections within the city because you never know where those connections may lead. And lastly, I would probably say, bro, keep your money, dog. I feel like a lot of rookies come in, they start spending something crazy, trying to keep up with the vets. Now, I'm just see a rookie start showing up in these fucking Bentleys and, Maybachs and all this type of stuff. And it's like, man, just wait till the next contract before you really start splurging and going crazy. Buy yourself something nice, but don't start splurging and keeping up with the vets because you're never going to win that.
You heard it here first from Myles. I feel like that's like the perfect way to kind of end this. You giving them advice about what's coming next. Also, I'm sad the Nets did not get a top 4 pick.
That was interesting, and that's for another day. There's other teams out there that didn't necessarily pan out either, but I'm not here to speak on that. So yeah. All right, y'all. Thanks for checking us out. Please rate, review, and subscribe to Game Recognized Game. We'll see y'all next time, man.